Hi everyone, welcome to Accounting 250. My name is Gary Almy and I will be your instructor for the next 7 weeks. And I put together this welcome video for a couple of reasons. One is to make you aware of the expectations for this classroom, and also to try to assuage some fears that you might have. I know a lot of accounting students come in and they're fearful about this class, and I want to try to alleviate some of those fears. And one of the biggest fears students tend to have is they tend to think that this is a math class. And I want to assure you that accounting has some mathematics in it, but is not a math class. If you can add and subtract, multiply and divide, then you're going to do fine in this class. So first thing I want to do is let you know my contact information, which is on this first screen. My telephone number is listed there. It's my direct line. And then my email address is also located there. First thing I want to talk about is time management. I'm not going to lie to you, this class is a difficult class. I'm not going to tell you anything different. It is intensive. It covers a lot of content in a short period of time. Therefore, I cannot stress more strongly the need for you to stay on track, to keep on track. Your worst enemy in this class is going to be procrastination. And I know that all of us tend to struggle with that, some more than others. But I think we all struggle with procrastination to some degree. So in this class, please do not procrastinate doing your work. If you procrastinate and get behind, it will be very difficult to try to catch up. Each week has an awful lot of work in it. So it's important that you don't get behind. The students in past classes who do well have stated that they spend at least 15 hours per week in the reading and the assignment. Now remember, this is an online class. And as such, much of the learning in this environment is self-directed. Now, I do provide as many tools as I possibly can, and I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. But ultimately, your success is going to be directly proportional to the amount of effort that you put into this class. And again, I'm not trying to scare you, but it does require a lot of effort. The first 4 weeks of the class will each cover one chapter from the text. Week 5 will consist of 2 chapters, and then weeks 6 and 7 will be covering 3 chapters each. So you can see the intensity picks up in those last 3 weeks. There's a lot of information in each of these chapters, and each must be read carefully and thoroughly. Please, and again I emphasize this, do not skip reading the assigned chapters. With accounting, there is ultimately no other way that you're going to understand the material without a careful reading of the textbook. So please start reading the assigned chapter on Monday of each week, because accounting is not something that you can skim through. You have to read it carefully, and you have to read all of it. You have to read the diagrams, because that's going to help in your understanding. So please do not skip reading the assigned chapters. The assignments, there are 2 DQs each week, discussion questions. Discussion question 1 is due on Wednesday, and discussion question 2 is due on Friday. Late points will be deducted for late postings per the GCU policy. Now, my posting requirements are going to be covered more thoroughly in another post that will be in the discussion forum. You will have an assignment due each week by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Now, although these assignments consist of only 2 to 4 problems per week, there are multiple parts to each problem. So therefore, they can be time consuming. So don't be swayed by the fact when you're looking and say, oh, there's only 2 problems. Each of those problems have multiple requirements, and they are time consuming. So again, start as early as possible to ensure completion. If you wait until the weekend, or even late in the week to begin, you're going to find it difficult to complete on time. And again, if you get behind and you don't do week 1 assignment, it's going to be very difficult for you to try to finish week 1 and do week 2 in the second week. So please stay on track in this class. And again, I'm not saying that to scare you. It is what it is. Now, each Monday, I will post the templates to use for your homework assignments. So you do not have to create your own templates for these homework assignments. I've created them for you. That will save you a lot of work. And I created them in order to save you time, but also to create consistency in the grading. So please use only these templates. These are Excel templates and they correspond with the homework problems. So at the bottom of each of these templates, you're going to see multiple tabs at the bottom that corresponds to the assigned problem and its multiple requirements. So please be sure to check the discussion forum every day. Generally, I post tools to aid in your understanding of the material. They're posted in DQ1 each week on Mondays, Tuesdays, and sometimes Wednesday. So I put these aids in there to help you to understand the material. For instance, I will review the templates with you and kind of go over what you need to do in the template. So it's very important that you read these posts. So check the DQ forum on Monday, Tuesdays, and sometimes Wednesday, looking for additional posts that I put in there for you. So again, use the templates. If you do not use the template and you submit me something of your own making, I will return it to you for you to resubmit. And again, I do that because first of all, I did it for you to so I could save you some time, but also creates consistency in grading, because sometimes what I get when a student has done their own template can sometimes be very difficult to understand. So it helps you, to get a better grade as well. There will be 4 quizzes throughout the 7 weeks, and then in week 7, there's going to be a final cumulative exam. These are all due by Sunday night. Now, please be aware that the system is going to kick you out if you have anything else open on your computer. So don't even have the ebook open or any websites while you're taking the quiz, because the system is designed to kick you out, and then you'll have to contact me in order to reassign that quiz, and that can be at least possibly a 24-hour delay. So I will reset quizzes only if there is a technical issue that GCU is responsible for. I can't reset them because you didn't do well on the quiz. I'm not allowed to do that. So the quizzes are due 11:59 p.m. in your time zone, not the Arizona time zone. So please make sure you allow yourself enough time to complete the quizzes each week. There will be a 10% deduction per day per the GCU policy for late assignments as well as DQs, as I mentioned earlier. I will adhere strictly to this policy. Now, I don't want you to think that the reason I'm doing that is because it's some kind of a form of punishment or because I'm just a mean kind of guy. It's not true. It's a means to encourage you, the student, to avoid procrastination, because I know, having taught this class many, many, many times, hundreds of times, that when a student gets behind, they get into a lot of trouble and ultimately sometimes fail the class. So in order to encourage you to stay on track and to complete your assignment within that particular week, I will adhere to the 10% deduction per day. Now, 10% may not sound like much, but when you think about it, if you're 1 day late, you start off with a 90% instead of 100%. So that's even before any points are deducted for any errors that might be made. If you are late 2 days, then you're down to an 80%. So you're already down into the C plus B minus territory. So please don't be late. Again, I will adhere strictly to the policy. The other reason I do that, it's really only fair to those who submitted in a timely manner. So there has to be some kind of ramification for those who delay and don't submit the assignment on time. I feel it's only fair to those who diligently submitted their assignment in a timely manner. So again, remember, it's going to be very difficult, I know I keep saying this, for you to catch up if you get behind in a particular week. So please don't get behind for your own sake. You'll just stress yourself so much in the later weeks. Now, I am in the classroom Monday through Friday from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Arizona time. So the best way to reach me is through the individual form or the question to instructor form. I check those multiple times during each day of the week. Please allow up to 24 hours for a response, although in most cases I respond in a much quicker fashion than that. But I can also be reached via my phone number, my office line, 602-639-7378, and that's during my posted class hours. Or also you can contact me via email at gary.almy@gcu.edu. So if you don't need to talk to me, the best way though is through the individual form or that question to instructor form. Now, I am not available by phone over the weekend. Therefore, it's important that any questions be addressed prior to the weekend. So again, this is even further encouragement to get started early in the week so I can be of assistance to you should you need help. I really too, and I hope you understand, I'm very sincere about this. I want to see each of you succeed, and I'll do everything in my power to help you. However, again, ultimately, it is only your hard work and commitment that will ensure your success. Now, over the weekend, I am still available on Saturdays through the individual forum and the question to instructor forum. I usually check those maybe about twice on Saturdays. I do reserve Sunday for church and for my family, so I do check my messages Saturday night before I go to bed, and then Sunday late in the day, usually at nighttime, so that I can fall within that 24 hours time period. But again, if you have questions and need help on the homework, Sunday's not going to be the day that I'm going to be able to help you. Okay? And then finally, please be aware, as I said, I'm here to answer any specific questions you may have regarding the course content and the homework. However, I will not review your work prior to submission. Sometimes students will send me their assignment and ask me to review it for them for accuracy. And I won't do this because it would not be fair, as it would essentially be grading the assignment prior to them submitting it. So please don't send me your spreadsheets prior to submitting it for me to tell you whether it is correct or not. Now, if you are confused or having trouble in a specific area, I am more than happy to help you understand the material or can answer specific questions you might have. But I am not going to review the entire document and tell you where you are wrong so that you can then submit a perfect assignment. Again, that wouldn't be fair to other students. I think that is about it, all the information I want to give you. Again, I'm here to help you. I truly am. I'm looking forward to the next 7 weeks with you. And I just want you to know that you do not need to be afraid to reach out to me. The reason I do this is because I like helping students and I want you to learn. I really do. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need any help. And I hope that this information was helpful to you. Thank you so much. Bye now.